Why are so many of our people taking their lives?
It can be overwhelming. You just want to join them.
So here we are tonight at Academy Cinemas for a preview, a pre-premiere of Maui's Hook, ahead of its world premiere in the New Zealand Film Festival. We're going to find out what other people in the media and guests tonight have to say about this film.
Our whittle, and also our commitment to this kaupapa around wakamomori. Koinei te tira, o te hia o te wai tēnei mō tātou, kia pai tō tātou haerenga.
Kia ora Paua, and congratulations on your film. This is an incredible journey. What made you think of doing this and taking these people along with you?
Well, I'd like to believe that it's always about the people with any kind of filmmaking venture. So yeah, when I thought about making a film around suicide prevention, I thought that it would be good to involve whānau really, who have had the experience of losing somebody through suicide.
Going along with these people and then having an actor as well as these true stories at the same time, where did the idea for this come from?
It came about through my own experience as a youth worker and then as a clinical psychologist as well. In that, you know, we have the highest youth suicide rate in the world, and that hasn't really changed since the time of working on the streets in the late 80s really in South Auckland, especially with Māori youth suicide and Māori men in particular, young Māori men. So I wanted to craft a film really that would take into consideration the attention of young people. It's very difficult to get young people to come along and watch a documentary, so I've tried to kind of weave it really in such a way that it would grab the attention of young people. I have shown the film to a test audience, to a couple of young Canadians actually, and after about the first 5 minutes they didn't realise they were watching a documentary.
Kia ora niwa, and ka pai on your powerful part in this film. Can you tell us about your journey?
Started 3 years ago now, and it was just a little audition and turned into this, which is pretty cool. There's a lot of hard work along the way, obviously, and I'm just happy to be here tonight. I feel very, very, very honoured to be able to just be a part of this project in the first place and be able to have them share their stories with me. It was obviously, you know, the job that they did on the film was completely different to what I did and much, much, much more difficult. You know, to me it was just I got to go home at the end of it, whereas they're still living their stories out every day, and so I feel very honoured to hear those stories, to be a part of this whole project together, and yeah.
For the viewers out there, can you tell us why they should come and see the film?
I think the film's got a very, very strong message, very relevant in today's landscape, and I think it's just, if we can just start getting this kaupapa into conversation more often, then I think it's just going to do nothing but good, and if we can just help one person out there, then that'll be choice.
Stay down! Stay down! Keep calm!
It's raw, it's real, and it's what New Zealand needs to see right now. I think, you know, us Kiwis, we're real good, bro. You know, we're cool kind of attitude. It's easy just to get really busy with life, really, and we forget to connect and just be the ones that actually reach out and say, you know, how are you feeling? You know, how are you genuinely feeling?
It's a film that every whānau should see, whether they've experienced loss or not. I'd also like to see this shown throughout schools in New Zealand too. It's a fantastic film.
I think it's a beautiful story. Ki ngā kaimahi o tēnei kiriata, kia kaha, kia maia, kia manawa nui, I roto I tēnei kaupapa. This beautiful mahi, beautiful mahi. Kia ora koutou.
It was an extraordinary mix of a drama and a documentary. And I think and it tackled a subject which is really, really important to New Zealanders in a very head-on, straight-up way. And only these people could do it. I mean, it's a real tapu subject normally. So it was really heart-rendering, but at the same time uplifting. So I'd really recommend it to anybody to come and have a look. It's a wonderful film.
There's the sorrow and the pain and the agony, but I also think at the end there's like sort of a sense of joy and hope and possibility. And so I think, you know, for people who, you know, had possibly dealt with suicide, who were dealing with a family member or a friend who are going through it, I think seeing this film gives them options. And like at the end of the film, it is like, look, you aren't alone. And even if you don't have an answer, let's just talk and maybe we can find a solution. So yeah,
it's really heartbreaking that this is happening, and I really thank them for showing us how they feel and the journey that they are on, because it is so relevant to so many other families in Aotearoa, and yeah, I just thank them.
Tuatahi rā, he kaupapa whakahirahira tēnei te mate pakamomori. It's a very important kaupapa for us, suicide, so I think that's probably the first reason. Tuarua rā, he pai ake te kiriata, it's a great film to watch, I guess based on you know, cinematography, and also ko te mikirapu o ngā mea urua ara, fiction and non-fiction, so mixing drama with the documentary element is probably one of the things that's very unique. It's something, I guess, that I haven't seen yet, but very interesting indeed.
I had tears throughout the whole thing. I still feel a little bit, I don't know, I feel it, yeah. People need to come see it.
The ending of this film, though, did you feel that there was something there at the end where they actually felt relief?
Yes, yeah, that was very beautiful, the ending part. That I guess that's what I love about Māori and how they have these processes. It was a really beautiful way of sending off your loved one and having that, it's sort of like a ceremony in a way that you're letting go of it, and they all went back quite a bit lighter than before, and I really felt that, it was powerful to see that, yeah.
It's left me feeling heavy-hearted, but also it's helped me heal with things that I've had to deal with in my own life. A big mihi to Kura Productions and to Paula, the director, for making this film. It's very brave, and to all of the whānau for sharing their brave stories. I think that it's going to help a lot of us. So kia ora to the whānau.
I think this film is so important, not only because it helps grieving families to deal with that grief in a really positive way, but because that positive way is grounded in Māori culture and identity, which is so unique to this place. And the idea that not just Māori people, but any New Zealander who's dealing with the grief of suicide can actually find some solace in working through those issues together is really important. And this film highlights how beautifully that has been done.
It is a fantastic journey, and it is a definite for anybody that is dealing with this, and it actually affects more people than we realise, doesn't it?
I literally do not know anyone whose family has not been touched by suicide. My own family is in this film. My nephew Sam and his wife Jenna lost their son 5 years ago. It's one of the greatest tragedies in our family. So I don't know of any family, and there are no rules about why or how it happens, but the fact that it is something that is almost endemic in developed society means we all, as a community, have to look inside ourselves at how we communicate, how we support each other, how we provide the necessary support and love to people who are struggling. That's what I think this film really explores beautifully and in a completely unique way.
Thank you so much. You've said that beautifully.
I'm over allowing the environment of shame to continue.
Talk, reach out.
Someone loves you.
Exactly.
Someone does love you and care. You're not alone.
So as you've just heard, it is a very heavy film, but also, in my opinion, it is a very necessary journey towards healing for anyone that has gone through a situation like this. So if you think you shouldn't see this, you probably should see it. So join us for the world premiere of Maui's Hook on the 21st of July at the ASB Waterfront Theatre. I'm Deb Banan, and this is Red Carpet New Zealand.